Hi, my name is Eloise. I am a consultant here with the Profs, specialising in law admissions. I've helped hundreds of students get into the university of their choice for law. And today I'm going to talk to you about A-level law. So specifically how to get a great result in your A-level law, so either an A or an A star. And also, is A-level law something that you want to consider, especially if you're thinking of studying law at university level? I studied law at Cambridge. I got a first-class degree, so I'm going to be using some of that experience as well as a lot of other resources and information to give you the best guidance. So we're going to start off by talking about law at A-level and whether that's something that might be right for you or not. So if you're already studying law at A-level, you might want to skip to the next section where we'll talk about your grades. But for those of you thinking about law as an A-level choice, is it right for you? Interestingly, one preconception that is often talked about in the UK is that studying law at A-level is unhelpful if you want to study law at degree level. Now, the reason that people have often said this, which isn't necessarily true, but the reason that it's often talked about in this way is because law at A-level is a different type of study of law than law at degree level. And this is why most universities, if not all universities, will say that you do not need to study law at A-level in order to have an exceptional experience in your university degree of law. It is important to remember that A-level study is just a different nature of study than university study. So obviously, if you study a subject at A-level, it's not going to be the same quality of study that you have at university, which will be much more deeper, more thorough, and more independently driven. But studying A-level law might be something you want to think about if you are extremely passionate about law and you know that this for sure is a subject that you want to pursue further, or if you just have an interest in law and if it fits with the rest of your subject choices. I would say it's not true that it puts you at a disadvantage for applying to university. I think it can, as long as you're doing well in your A-level, it can actually indicate that you have a strong passion for law. It's just not essential. So if you don't want to study law, or if you want to study something else at A-level, then you should feel free to do that and still apply for a law degree. And finally, just a note on A-level study and how it will be different from, let's say, university study or further study. A-level studies are often a little bit more guided, so you'll have a lot more contact time learning the information in a group setting, so in your classes or your tutorials or seminars that you're taking with the rest of your colleagues and peers. And then they are often tested through exams, although there can be a coursework component as well. So the first tip that we have for achieving a high mark in your A-levels is to attend all of your classes. And this might sound obvious, and hopefully you're just doing this anyway as a matter of course, but definitely attending your classes will be where you get the main foundation for your understanding of law. So the information that's given to you in your group setting that you then go away and complete homework or coursework or further reading on, this is kind of the foundation of your understanding. It is really important that if you fall behind with your attendance for a specific subject or in general, that you speak to your school or someone, a counsellor or someone who can provide guidance on the topic, because A-levels do normally depend on the information that's given to you within that group setting. So if you're missing out on that, please do try and catch up in some way. The second point is somewhat linked, and this is the completion of all your homework, your assignments, and your coursework in order to get your grade. So one of the first things you can do when you start to take your A-level is figure out how much of the A-level is assessed by exams and how much is assessed by periodic submission of homework, coursework, assignments, or any other module completion that you need to do. This could involve group projects or communal work. So again, it's really important to be aware of how your grade is made up and which percentage goes to which type of assessment. Because school learning A-levels are a little bit more supervised than university learning, there will be often opportunities for you to catch up if you do miss something. So if you missed a deadline for an assignment submission, your school will normally enable you to meet that deadline in some other way so you can make up the work, and it is really important that you stay on top of this. So if you do miss a deadline for whatever reason, that you speak to someone, you get assistance where you can, and you're able to make up that deadline. So we mentioned figuring out before which percentage of your grade is attributed to exams versus coursework versus other components. It's also really important to figure out your mark scheme. So this is how the exam is actually marked and what kind of qualifications or what kind of skills your examiner will be looking to see when you complete your coursework or your exam. Now, your school should make this available to you, but if you haven't seen the mark scheme or you don't understand how your grades are assessed, it is really important to speak to your teacher or your professors about it, and they should be able to give you the appropriate resources. Depending on your mark scheme, you might also be able to find information online. And if you would like to have a full breakdown of the mark schemes, AQA and OCR, definitely check out the Prof's article on how to get an A star or an A in law, which has a full breakdown of all the module requirements and also an indication of how those modules are marked. The fourth tip is to understand the subject on a deeper level than just being able to retain and reproduce information. And this can be quite tricky to do because a lot of the time if we think we have an exam, we just want to get all the information in our head and then reproduce it on paper. But to get an A star or a high A, it is really important that you actually have an understanding of the content rather than just memorizing it and then reproducing it. So different ways you can do that. I mean, reading beyond your set text is a really good way to deepen your knowledge. You can also do things like group learning, where you're testing your learning against other people's learnings and discussing your findings. You can do techniques like teaching yourself. So imagine you were teaching yourself a concept and you had to start from the beginning and explain it all the way through. You can use things like flashcards where you're testing your revision or you're testing your understanding of particular concepts. And obviously past papers are a great way to test your understanding as well. I would say absolutely make the most of the school environment, because if you do have support from your teachers, it is so important that you use that if you need to. And this is one of the things that's great about A-level, is that you will be in a context where support is available to you. So if you feel like you don't understand something, you miss something, you can't grasp a concept, or you're really struggling with a particular aspect of your learning, please do reach out to your teachers, your professors, or anyone else who can provide you support within the academic environment. The fifth point is in relation to feedback and mock exams. And you will know from any time you've ever tried to learn anything, one of the best ways you can learn and accelerate your learning is to get regular feedback. So you can get this from past papers that you've submitted to your teachers, or mock exams or assignments that you're handing in. But please do make sure you take the time to reflect on the feedback that's given to you. Look beyond just the grade. So let's say you get a B, but you also get a lot of written feedback within your work. Don't just see it as a failure because you haven't achieved the result that you want, but take the time to go back through it, work in those clarifications and corrections into your future work, and then see if you can develop your grade by working through that feedback. And again, if you feel like you're not understanding the feedback that you've been given, or you haven't been given enough feedback to understand where you went wrong, please do take the opportunity to learn, because again, this is really what your teachers and your professors and your academic support system are there to provide you with. The sixth point is in relation to exam technique and preparation. And again, if you know that you're someone who struggles with exams, which many people do, it's not necessarily a reflection on how good you are at the subject or how smart you are. It can just be the format of an exam can be extremely intimidating for a lot of people. Now, if you know you're someone who struggles with anxiety, nerves, or stress around exams, or if you struggle with things like time management or focus or concentration within the exam context, start preparing for your exams long before you actually have to sit them. And the best way to do this is through past papers and mock exams, testing yourself, putting these requirements on yourself to really develop your exam technique before the time comes to actually take the exam will set you up for the best way. And the final thing that we will mention in this list, and personally I think this is the biggest thing that distinguishes an A student from an A-star student, is a genuine passion for the subject. And this might sound like a little bit of a cliche, but this sense of passion comes out in so many different ways when you're studying. It will come out in the way that you approach your resources, the way you read beyond your curriculum, your understanding of the topic, and ultimately in the way that you actually write and present about that topic. So how clear you are, how focused you are, how dynamic and exciting your writing is. A lot of this depends on whether you're genuinely interested in the topic or not. So it's really something to think about either before you choose law as an A-level or while you're starting to study law. What is it that makes you interested in this subject? How can you deepen your passion? And you don't necessarily need to deepen your passion through your academic studies. You could also deepen your passion for law by podcasts or visiting a court or asking another lawyer about their experiences or doing some work experience or volunteering in some way that has a connection to the legal system. And that kind of deepened passion will give you more energy and determination and drive for your achievement in your A-level exams. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please do drop a like and follow for this account. There are many more law videos and other videos related to law study that might be of interest to you. If you have any comments or questions, please do drop them below and we will take a look. And if you know this will be helpful for someone else in your life, another law student or someone thinking about studying law, please do send it over to them. And as always, if you require any support, assistance, or guidance in your studies of law, whether that's achieving an A star at A-level or any other A-level result you require, Or if you're thinking about studying law as a degree subject, we have a whole team of experienced consultants and tutors here ready to help you achieve the results that you want. So please do get in touch using the information on screen now. And as always, best of luck in your studies of law.